Yeah, that's part of alleviating that stress is being able to answer their questions or talk them through the
Right.
nuances, right?
Hmm.
Kind of the interpreter. Yeah,
Exactly.
compliance. Oh, you mentioned compliance. It's like, yikes, because there's a lot that goes into that. And there are a lot
Hmm.
of things that you probably see when you first come in to work with a client that they're missing in their business,
Right.
things that they aren't doing. What are some of the things that you've seen?
So, one of the things that I actually will educate business owners on, especially when they're a sole proprietor, is you need to have a separate bank account and a separate credit card account for your business that's not your personal. And a lot of times I think, oh, well, it's just easier if it's all in one, but it's really not. It can make issues of doing your bookkeeping and doing your taxes more difficult.
Mhm.
It also can potentially be a red flag for the IRS. So, if you're
Yes.
audited, they might say, well, we don't know that these expenses are truly business. It could be that you were just going out to dinner with your friends, or,
Right.
this telephone expense may not really be for business, or, things like that. So it's better to actually completely have separate accounts and do the bookkeeping properly, reconcile the accounts too. I think one of the things a lot of people think is, well, my bank imports directly into software, so I don't have to reconcile.
Hmm.
But that's not true. That's not really having accurate books, and transactions can be duplicated, some can be missed. So making sure that someone who comes to me who says, I'm reconciling my accounts, we verify they really are. And most of the time, they're actually not reconciled. And I've found people that thought that they were reconciled really weren't, all the way back to the beginning of their business.
Wow. Now,
Mhm.
I know as a consultant, I would travel. So I had a lot of travel expenses, reimbursed expenses. I would keep all the receipts. I would tape them
Mhm.
on a piece of paper. I would identify everything. And then I know people who just kind of walk into their accountant's office with a bag or a
Right.
shoebox, dump the receipts and say, here,
Mhm.
here's my year, figure this out. Have
Right.
you had experiences like those?
Yes, and that's why CPAs love working with us too, because they can have their clients come to us and we go through all that paperwork and we do all the bookkeeping ahead of time. So they get the financial information that they could just do the tax return.
Nice.
But yeah, I actually had someone once and I didn't understand why they did this, but they literally took the carbon copies of their checks and they like crumpled them up into balls and then threw them in a bag. I was like, why couldn't it just still be like flat, folded,
Yeah.
nice, something, So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, you'll have some people that,
Wow.
even if they have great filing systems, but they wait for a year
Hmm.
to bring it to you and there's a big box, or however they bring it to you, that does take a lot of time to go through. And I think that's one of the misconceptions that people have about the job we do, is they think that it's really quick to go through the information, but it takes time, especially if we have to look at every receipt and put the information on there. It does
Sure.
take a lot of time.
And then trying to organize everything and put it into something like QuickBooks, right?
Right.
You set up
Hmm.
the chart of accounts for them,
Yes.
everything.
Hmm.
Wow.